What's going on, you beautiful people? So this video, we're going to be talking about all the young players that Jim Rutherford apparently could be targeting in a potential trade for some of these veterans. This has been a hot topic in Vancouver, and I thought what better guy to get than Corey from Canucks Army at VCANUCKSNEWS, a regular guest here. Corey, what's going on, man?
I'm just excited to talk about all these young players. We've got a big old list and so many guys we had to cut other guys off the list.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty funny because if we can actually get to it, there's one name that I had to cut because StreamYard only lets you have a few names on here. So it's not my fault, okay? Not my fault, Corey.
I've wanted to talk about this guy for like a month, and you went, "No, that's not realistic." I'm like, "Let me talk about him." No, it's not realistic. And then this time you get him on, and you go, "I'm cutting him." Like, "I'll cut that fine." So I might just shout it out at the end.
By the way, it's Quentin Byfield. Surprise!
Blow up my spot here.
Oh, okay. Let's get to it. Brad Lambert, 6'1", 173 pounds. He just has the 1 point. He is apparently on the market. What do you think about Brad?
I mean, yeah, he's asked for, or the Jets have given his agent permission to seek a trade, which normally indicates that they're, how many times has that actually worked out? Not that often. It also means like, there's not a whole lot of interest in him. I don't actually like him all that much as a player. He's had kind of compete issues going back all the way to junior, bouncing around from Finnish team to Finnish team. He's had maybe 2 productive years in the last several years. I don't think he's actually gonna to stick. I wouldn't take a gamble on him.
Me personally, I haven't watched enough of Brad to really give a really good opinion on him. So I'll just go with what Corey's saying right there. The next name I have on the list is Barrett. Hayton, there's a really interesting one. He has 22 games played. He had the 5 points, 6'1". He's 200 pounds, 25 years old, so he's getting a little bit up there. But what do you think about Barrett?
I think he would be a really interesting, fun reclamation project. What's interesting, I looked this up. His minutes are not going down, so he's just not producing at all. I didn't check to see if his power play. I even think his power play minutes have been fairly stable. At least they were about a week ago when I looked. He's just not getting any production. He's has the makings to be a solid second line center. He is an RFA after the year. So that's another thing that some GMs are scared of. They want control. They value control almost more than talent in a lot of ways. So that's an interesting little thing with him. I think he kind of has the I don't say trappings, but he has that je ne sais quoi of a stereotypical second line center. A guy is going to get you 40, 50 points, mostly even strength, kind of do some power play, PK time, moderately sized, and just does a little bit of everything.
The next guy on the list is very interesting to me because Kent Johnson is a guy I've been kind of targeting here for a little while. He's 23 years old. He's 6 foot. He's 170 pounds. Not the biggest guy in the world. In the 23 games played, he only has the 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. And he's a minus 12. But again, plus minus doesn't mean everything. But that's always not nice to see. But I got to say, man, like, if the Columbus Blue Jackets, like, it's not 100% realistic that they will go out and trade a guy like Kent Johnson because he does have such, like, I know they list him as a C here. He's more of a winger.
He's a winger.
I guess I guess you can call him a hybrid. He has taken some faceoffs in the past, but most people will treat him as a winger, more than a center. That being said, like, if the Columbus Blue Jackets did decide to move on from him, this is a guy who has a ton of talent. Like, he's a very gifted offensive hockey player, and the big question is, can he put it all together? Can he get the proper time? And can he, not just offensively, but can he just at least hold up defensively as well? Because that is a bit of a problem with Kent. So what do you think about Kent? This is a really fascinating name because he's really not put up a ton of points again this year, and he had that 1 year that people were like,
get a breakout.
Going to be, So what do you think?
It's really curious how he's not been able to fit in and break out along with the other guys like the Fantillis and Marchenkos and Voronkovs. Like he's kind of getting pushed down and left behind a little bit, and maybe he does become a bit of trade bait for them to go out and get some immediate help. For the Canucks, I don't. Other than Garland, I don't know if there's anyone on the roster that could net him, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you're going to have to give to get. Garland would be probably the guy they would be targeting in that scenario. So, I'll ask you guys in the comments section, would you be willing to get a secured guy like Garland who's been putting up good points? The dog, he's signed, he's extended on a gamble that Kent Johnson can be a better player than Garland, who's much younger. So it's a very interesting trade idea, but would the Canucks bite on that? Who knows?
And Johnson's a BC boy. He's from Port Moody.
Oh, very good point. That's some great knowledge there.
He practices with all the other guys, the Celebrinis and the Bedards in the summer. Like, they all do that.
And Corey, I believe you're a pretty big fan of this guy, Casper, out in Detroit. 24 games played. He only has the 3 goals, the 3 points there, minus 11 as well. He's 6'1", 202 pounds. He's 21 years old. Sky's the limit. He was picked in 8th overall in that 2022 draft, which is interesting because there's another name that we're going to be talking about a little bit later, like right here, that is in that same draft, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just take a quick look. Yeah,
they are. Yeah, they
draft.
are. Yeah, it's the Karamaki trade. Or Karamaki draft.
That's right. So what do you think about Marco?
I'll be shocked if the Red Wings give up on him and trade him. He's having a really rough year after breaking out last year as basically their de facto second line center. I kind of look at this year as more of a sophomore slump for him. He's very similar to Barrett Hayton in that that's just a dude who's, I think, eventually in his career is just going to give you solid second line minutes, doing everything and just working hard and having a great attitude. Like, if you look, he's 21 years old. He's super young. There's no reason for the Red Wings to trade him. And it's the same thing. Like, you're not going to trade him for Garland just because he's having a really bad year. Maybe as part of, say, a Quentin Hughes package.
See, the thing is, like, the Canucks want all these young guys, right? These young players, but how do you go out and actually acquire them if it's just going to be for a UFA like a Sherwood? Like, it's who's going to give up on a 21 or 22 or 23-year-old player, for, unless I guess it comes in with a signed Sherwood. Well, maybe that's a lot more enticing for a team.
Maybe,
but like, it's so hard to do, or else it would be just happen more often in the league. There's a lot of teams out there that would love to have these guys as well, right? So you would have to kind of battle. They wouldn't just trade them to us. They'll shop them around. Like, they'd probably get the best value. So that's go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, with Minchikov, like, why wouldn't you just swap Casper for Minchikov, sort of thing, right? Like, why wouldn't those two teams make a trade? Like, why would I just don't see how the Canucks can do this. Even if you can say you trade all the veterans for draft picks, you're not consolidating all those draft picks and then trading them to these teams, because a lot of these teams are trying to come out of rebuilds. Like, they want to. No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. With Minchikov, like, just the other night, man, I thought he looked real good against the Vancouver Canucks. He's a good player. I don't know what the hell happened in Anaheim. I don't know why he started off this slow. But maybe it's opportunity. Who knows? Maybe they want, because they have Trouba there. They have a lot of just a lot of good young defensemen over there, right? So maybe he's not getting that opportunity that he really wants, right? And maybe that's why he kind of wants out, right? Who knows?
Well, I also look at, what did you notice about the way the Ducks play, like, their structure? There isn't one.
Run and gun.
It's run and gun. That is not a great environment for most defensemen. Like, Jackson Lacombe is their number one guy there, but he's also had a few years to get up to speed and get to that point. Minchikov is really just like, he's got 151 games, but he broke into the NHL really early. He's 22 and he's already got 151 games. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, is he just not in a good situation there compared to some of the other defensemen, and he just gets pushed further and further down because he doesn't have the experience to deal with the chaos that's going on.
The next guy on the list is Maverick Bourke. He's 5'11", 187 pounds in the 24 games played. He has the 8 points. He's -5. He's a guy who I think a lot of people thought he would break out a little bit more, but he only has the 98 games played. He has 33 points, not the worst in the world. He's 23 though. He's not old, but he's not like old, 20 or 21-year-old like a lot of these other guys on some of these guys on this list.
Yeah, Bourke is interesting in that I would not be shocked at all. In fact, I expect him to be traded this year as some sort of upgrade for them. And so I could see them kind of not selling high, but selling on him this year to get even 1-for-1, like Sherwood for Bourke. And they just kind of shrug their shoulders and go like, we weren't even sure if he was going to be on the team next year anyway.
6'2", 191 pounds. God, man, everybody knows who the guy is, but he's underperformed. He's underperformed in New York. Like, it's just, we got to be honest. And the guy's just not the best skater in the world. He's had opportunities he's had a number of opportunities to play with some really good hockey players, and he's just not producing at the numbers that a lot of people thought. But maybe if the Vancouver Canucks think that he could break out, there's an interesting name at 24 years old that they could target, but the cap, it's pretty heavy to get a guy like him. Yeah. So, what do you think about?
To him. Like Emily Castonguay was his agent.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So there's always, and the Canucks apparently have asked for him and tried to acquire him. I gotta imagine that's cooled a bit. Like I don't know. I don't even really see him as a late bloomer. So.
He's on his first year of a 7-year deal at 7.450. Wow. That is a heck of a cap hit.
He's worth talking about just because of the Canucks past connections to him over the last several years. But I really, if you're acquiring him, that is a massive gamble. But who knows? The Canucks love to trade with the Rangers, so.
Yeah, Alexis, it's going to be interesting. So another guy, he's having a much better year, so I do wonder if he is available, and that's Nick Robertson, man. 22 games played. He has the 11 points. He's only -5, but I've always liked this guy. I've said it so many times in other videos. I thought the Canucks would be good to go and get this guy. The guy can score. I know he has 5 goals, but the guy can shoot, man. He's a really good shooter. I think with more of an opportunity, he could do some damage. He's not a bad get, and he's only 24 years old. I think he's a pretty good hockey player. So what do you think about him? Do you think there's a little bit of a chance? Remember, he did ask out, right?
He did, yes. He did. He asked for a trade. They didn't do it. The Maple Leafs have offered him up in swaps for other players, and other teams have turned him down. The thing I've always said with Robertson, as much as I do like him, how does he fit on? He only fits on the Canucks if you also don't have Garland and Hoglander. So all of a sudden you have 3 wingers who are, they have gumption, but they're all under 5'10". That is some serious lack of height, and that might seem not like a big deal, but it does limits your reach. It basically, that's why teams go crazy over height and defensemen and stuff. When you just have that reach, even if it's just visual, it artificially, and which becomes practically, shrinks the ice down and shrinks the space down. So when you have little guys like this, they don't do that as much, and other players, I was going to say stars, but just in general, other players see more of the ice. They see more seams that they can get through. And little guys like that, they have to be running at a high motor all the time. And you can't really do that with so many small non-elite players.
And Garland, even though he's smaller, he plays like he's 6'5". That's why people love the guy so much.
Yeah.
Cole Sillinger, your favorite player in the National Hockey League.
Love him. Yep.
Okay, let's go to it. There's no bigger fan in the NHL than Cole Sillinger, than Corey here. Corey, sell me on why the Canucks should once again target a guy like Cole Sillinger.
Cole Sillinger is 22 years old and has played 300 NHL games. He jumped right in the NHL from when he was 18. So a lot of his middling stats and terrible plus minus, where they just do what the Blue Jackets do. They threw a guy into the fire before he was ready. They have constantly shifted him from center to wing, center to wing, center to wing. he's good as a center. He's perfectly fine as a center. The main thing that I like about him is I think he's attainable. I think he's got like Sam Bennett potential, not like playoff Sam Bennett, but like regular season Sam Bennett. When you look at regular season Sam Bennett stats, they're okay. They are acceptable second line center minutes. So what do you want to do? You want to get Sam Bennett before he becomes Sam Bennett. So I'm going out on a limb and saying Cole Sillinger is Sam Bennett before he became Sam Bennett.
Sam Bennett's killing me in my fantasy, but he's been playing better recently. I think he has
six
points in the last 7 games. Well, I thought with Barkov being gone, right? I thought he was gonna step right up and be right there. I was so high on Sam Bennett into this regular season as well. Didn't work out, but yeah, that's cool.
Sam Bennett is who he is. That is always going to be who he is, and as long as his body doesn't break down in the playoffs, he's going to like bring it in the playoffs for short tournaments.
He's a dog, such a good player in the playoffs, man.
We're going to see him in the Olympics. He's going to do the same thing. Like this is in short tournament format. That's what he is, and so I look at Cole Sillinger and see a lot of those same traits. A lot of this, like, here's a guy who's kind of doesn't actually have the full backing of the organization despite being there for such a long time, and maybe you can pry him out of Columbus for a Sherwood. I don't know how that overall deal would look. Like, I doubt you could do a 1-for-1. I think the Canucks would have to add maybe a little something, but but maybe not. I don't know. But
see, like, this is what the Canucks are going to be looking for. Like, if they are,
he's attainable.
Like these, like when they're going out and they're saying they want younger players, I guess not overdraft picks because they didn't technically say it this time, but they did say they want younger players. Like, I'm sure there's other guys on this list that we don't have on here. Like Byfield, but it's but
criminal.
These are the type of names that they're going to be targeting. So yeah, who else? By the way, guys, in chat. Let me ask you guys, who do you guys like from this list? Also, is there someone not on this list that you think should be on this list? And please let us know. And Corey, I want to just say thank you so much for being here once again, doing this with us like usual. Go follow at VCANUCKSNEWS and also follow him at Canucks Army. He just dropped a few articles here, so definitely go and read those. Like we did a video on comparables as well. So really, really cool stuff there. Corey, thank you so much, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Take care.